Today we're talking about one of my sellers that I've helped who had a very unique property and what we did to make sure that they got that sold quickly and for top dollar in their pocket. Hi, this is Sandy Eagon with Keller Williams Realty. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're sharing how we got a very unique property sold for one of my clients and want to let you know how we can do the same thing for you. If you are looking to sell, please click the link that asks for your home's value, and I'll be glad to get back with you right away. If you are looking to purchase, please click the link that says that you want to see all area homes, and we will be glad to set up a search and talk with you about what you're looking for in your next home. Thanks so much, and now back to our story. I got a call from one of my colleagues this summer. He's been in the lending field for years and years, and he and his wife were ready to sell. So they have 5 acres, a huge shop, a mother-in-law apartment, barn, private lakefront, all of that on 5 acres in a quiet area of Arlington, but just off the freeway, so it's pretty accessible. It was an awesome piece of property. So I knew that they were interviewing several prominent agents in the area, and I just basically put my best foot forward and said, I'm going to earn your business. When they decided to use me and trust me to be their listing agent, we put together a game plan that dealt with several phases. We're going to market the property. Of course, all of the online portals that we normally use, and plus, because it was an equestrian property, we actually plussed that with the equestrian and the horse areas so that we could make sure that the right person for that property was going to see it. Also, because we know that 70% of all homes get sold through our local MLS, we had to make sure that the agents who sell these types of properties really knew what was here, because we had so much. And so we contacted each one of these agents directly. We invited them to our broker's open house, and we let them know that this was a property who was out here for their horse people. Of course, it wasn't just all about the horse, it was about the great big shop. And so we made sure that all of the details about how it was constructed and what you could use it for, and the space and the amenities, the tech room, the commode, the drive-through bays, all of that was lined out so that they knew exactly what they were looking at for benefits. And they could bring their clients knowing that those people who are looking for that particular property could be here. When we first got on the market, we actually had 4 strong candidates that first weekend. And then each one of them started pulling out saying, yeah, there is so much there, but we don't need all that. And so we don't want to pay that price tag. But the value was definitely there. So we continued marketing, and each week, and we only had about 4 weeks, but each week we added another marketing piece to make sure and get the biggest exposure for our market time. Sure enough, we actually had a buyer come in from out of town, go to their local MLS agent who showed them all of the properties. As soon as that agent first reached out to me and asked questions, we made sure to get back to them right away. Lakefront was important, so she wanted to make sure it wasn't just a little stinky pond. And so we let them know what we had. They came out, took a look, and then we started doing the negotiation. We'd also had another couple who had been asking a lot of questions, had taken a couple of looks, and they also wanted to make sure to try to get that property. And so we ended up having ultimately 2 full price offers for $675,000. When my clients had sat down with other agents, the highest that they ever heard from anybody else that they could expect was 600. And it wasn't because the property wasn't worth any more. It was just because nothing had sold in that price point for that size of property. And so they wanted to make sure not overpromise. So we did have to take a look at it a little bit more, taking each part that is on top of what is normally being sold in order to make sure that we encompass value for the whole property. Ultimately, we did get that out-of-town buyer to stick to their full price offer, and we negotiated through some of the inspection items. When it did close last week, my sellers got a tidy profit check that they're then ready to go on and do their next part of life. So if you are looking for someone who needs to see your individual situation, what kind of a property do you have? How is it different than the standard? I would love to sit down and talk with you about how we approach that and how we make sure to get the best dollar in your pocket today.